Hurricane Dennis coverage continues right here on the Weather Channel.
Beach.
Oh no, not again.
Big waves pound the pier at Pensacola Beach, Florida, as Hurricane Dennis closes in on the Gulf Coast.
Huge waves are here in Destin. The winds have really... Just Mike Bettis, I'll have a live report coming up.
And welcome to our special coverage of Hurricane Dennis. I'm Heather Tesh.
And I'm Marshall Cease. That was Mike Bettis in Destin, Florida, where conditions are going downhill fast along the central Gulf Coast.
Dennis is expected to cut an extensive path of damage even well inland when it seems to work on shore here and slams on shore in just a few hours.
Here's what it's looking like in Madeira Beach, Florida, as flooding rains continue to pelt the area. Dennis is dumping some incredible amounts of rain, flood warnings in effect in much of the area.
And again, Dennis continues to approach here very quickly, and it's going to create a real mess for a lot of these areas already, of course, suffering from what we had last year with all of our hurricanes here.
And as it moves toward the coast, it is roughly 58 miles east-southeast of Pensacola Beach, Florida. You can show you that on the radar as we check out the eye, which is clearly discernible in the bottom part of your screen. Once again, 58 miles east-southeast of Pensacola, Florida.
Our team of Weather Channel meteorologists are fanned out along the Gulf Coast waiting for Dennis's arrival. Joining us live now from Destin, Florida is Mike Bettis.
Hello, Heather. Good afternoon. It's been a pretty wild morning here in Destin. We've had incredible waves. We've had big-time wind. We're going to show you the waves that are crashing behind us here. They've been breaking out quite a ways at 10 to 12 feet. They really have built here through the morning. And one thing we've definitely been watching is the water rise here. We really haven't had a whole lot of water rise in the past, say, half hour or so. We're now finally starting to see those waves get a little bit closer to our location where we're actually physically standing. So it may not be much longer that we stay here on the beach, and we'll probably find our way out a little farther inland. That is a shelter for us to take a little bit of safe refuge. Of course, the folks that live here in Okaloosa County have been preparing for a little bit earlier this morning. We caught up with the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office, and they say that people are certainly obeying the warnings.
Most definitely. I think we've had a lot better response with the evacuation, even through the voluntary stage. More people seem to respect it a little more this time.
Certainly, since Ivan came through last year, people have learned a big-time lesson. And Dennis coming in maybe a little bit stronger than Ivan did last September. I want to let you know that we have a couple of shelters still available. If people need to get to that shelter, they're watching us say, hey, it's too dangerous, I need to get out of my house and get to that shelter. Davidson Middle School, Kenwood Elementary, as well as Antioch Elementary are all available for special needs, including folks with physical disabilities or medical needs. You'll need to go to Davidson Middle School for that. Flooding is going to be a big concern for us here, and one thing that happened with Ivan is just about all of Destin flooded. 98 may wash out in a few spots, so that's something that we'll update you on. But also want to let you know this, Heather, you know, in the middle of this hurricane, some folks at the hotel just next door to where we are wrapping up their preparations here, and before they left, very kind-hearted folks came down and said, we watched you, you guys are doing a great job. They brought us a cheesecake. So we want to say thank you to them, and they're headed inland as well as we are. We'll probably be inland probably the next hour or two.
All right,
Nice.
thanks. Yeah, Mike Bettis, Destin, Florida. We'll be checking in with him again, too. Low-lying areas are expected to quickly flood under the force of Hurricane Dennis.
You know, one such place is Gulf Breeze, Florida, located between Fort Walton Beach and Pensacola. Meteorologist Jim Cantore looks at the early morning effects in the region.
It is July 10th, 2005. History in the making here, folks. The first Category 4 on record to come on shore. That's not the problem. We've got a storm like Charlie, all right? That's going to move its way on off to the north and west. possibly causing problems all the way up to Memphis with a lot of structural damage there. All right, let's talk about this thing. We want to take it and show you some of the first pictures of the beach. Only 1 mile to my south, we're in Gulf Breeze, Florida. This is across the bay, the bridge, and right onto the beach. And what you're seeing here, waves coming on shore, as you would expect. We're talking about waves that are coming up on the beach. And by the time the surge comes in, especially if the storm moves just to our west, a lot of this island will be underwater once again. So all those piles of rubble arriving, all those big dumpsters that are sitting around with trash in them will float like tubs, and they will bang into some homes, unfortunately. And some of those homes have been reconstructed, finally, from Hurricane Ivan. Well, we'll keep you posted. Dennis is our game now. This is the one we're going to play as we go on through this afternoon. I'm Jim Cantori in Gulf Breeze. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Jim. Once again, Hurricane Dennis, a Category 4 hurricane. This is being updated as we speak. It is now about 58 miles south-southeast of Pensacola Beach, Florida. Its winds still Hurricane 4 status. Its pressure has raised to 937 millibars.
Again, a lot of concerns as we continue to monitor the system, working on shore this afternoon, but then it's going to continue to push inland, and you can expect to find flooding coming in here around areas of Alabama. Mississippi may see some of that, as well as Georgia, as we see all of the moisture pouring in from this system.
It is an extremely dangerous storm. Landfall will occur. You may be watching a historic moment over the next 4 hours. Severe damage near the center, and there are inland hurricane warnings now for southwestern half of central Alabama.
And we want to take you out here. This is the pier of Pensacola Beach. You can see the waves crashing on shore. We've got much more coverage ahead.
Live reports and Dr. Steve Lyons. That's up next.